Hi, welcome back to episode 3 of An Abundant Life with Cynthia and Galena Strelkov. I want to talk to you about something near and dear to my heart, and that's WAFA, the Wool and Fiber Arts Festival. That's a Facebook group and online. Every month, at the end of the month, they allow us to have an online half-hour sale. This is affecting thousands of us, the COVID virus, that can't go out and do our fall festivals. And this wonderful site has allowed us to go on and sell our goods. We depend on these fall festivals on our farm for most of our revenue. So this COVID has affected us. And Wool and Fiber Arts on Facebook has allowed us to continue selling our wonderful products. So in honor of that, I want to preview one of the things that we will be having, and that's our candy corn dishcloth collection. And it's going to be a set of 3 dishcloths, one that's lace, like the Lace Makers and Right Road pattern in our book, and one that's multicolored, and a plain one on the back. So that collection will sell on the Wool and Fiber Arts on Sunday the 24th, I believe, of October. But tune in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to all of the festival and see what is available. We usually sell our raw alpaca roving for spinners and felters, and it's just such a delight to be able to sell it to people and know that it's going to be made into yarn and that our whole year's work didn't go down the drain. And also we'll be selling these wonderful yarns that I've spun and many, many more, and luxury bats. So please tune in. It's really, really a wonderful thing. And it's so easy to buy on there. And I'd really like you to support WAFA because it was such a creative way for farmers to be able to not lose all of their revenue that they would normally have. And the other thing I wanted to announce was that the little boo pillow that we made in episode 2 is going to be a giveaway. One of the boo pillows will go to one of the subscribers. So on October 31st, on Halloween, we're going to have a drawing among our subscribers, and you will be in it. So just hit like and subscribe, and maybe you'll be getting a boo pillow sent to you. Thanks again for joining us, and we have more to come. These are our wonderful alpaca. They're all named after country western singers. We have Carrie Underwood, Wynonna Judd, Reba McEntire, and we are just so blessed to have them. I spin their fiber. Every spring we have the shearers out, and this is the sound and the sight that I get to wake up to every morning when I'm here on the farm. I hope you can hear the crickets. We let our alpaca just free graze. We try not to interfere with them too much. It's just healthier for them to leave them natural in their environment. And I hope they're really happy here on the farm. They seem to be. Oh, that sound you hear in the background is a little donkey named Jack Higgins. All of our donkeys have got literary names. Hi, welcome back. I wanted to talk a bit about decorating. Many people I see in their homes put furniture along the walls of a room and basically have no theme. It's just kind of daunting sometimes when you have a large room, but the main thing that I think you should do is pick one piece of art or one carpet, or in my case, it was this wonderful peacock pillow that my sister-in-law Sarah made for me out of some fabric that my Galena knew that I would love, and I do. And so I built this entire room around the colors in that peacock pillow. Start with a carpet in the center of your room, and then think about how your room is going to be used. So this room is going to be used to sit by the fire and to watch the television. So I placed the television along a wall that is not going to get any glare on it from windows. And I placed the sofa at a nice distance in front of the television and a nice table in front of that. And then I built out based on this color scheme. Do not buy all of your artwork first. Don't buy all of your lamps first. It's just important that you see how the room is going to function first, and then add the lamps, in a corner where you're going to be reading or doing some needlework, as I do behind me, and then build out. So I'm going to show you this room as it's empty. There's the television, the table, and all of the empty walls. Now, where I have this large piano, that was not optional. And where your fireplace is, that's not optional either. So you have to deal with things like that. And we will pause and place some furniture around. Build the room. Chose something low profile, not to get in the way of the all-important television, but where you can set your drinks down or pick up a magazine, burn a candle for on top of the coffee table. I don't know about you, but I have to have some place to put up my feet. And I found this wonderful footstool, all padded and fringed, just perfect for my taste, for the B&B. And I found this at HomeGoods, actually in the bath department. Look around, you never know what you'll discover. I added this cute table for behind the sofa. It needed a desk or a table or something, and I turned it into a bar. I found it in just a local shop and some cute little barware, and I'm thrilled with it. This is one of my thrifting finds, and I'm so proud of it. Just $5, and I think it's just a perfect little chair. For that chair, I just shopped my own bed and breakfast. This little table was upstairs beside the bed, and I thought it's perfect. So I'll just let you see the whole little vignette. Next, I added this bergère chair, and it was the wrong color. It was gray. It was on the farm. I love this chair, but it was just simply the wrong color. So I got fabric paint over at Joann's, and I painted it this wonderful turquoise. Every chair needs a table. I couldn't find quite the right table, and so I just concocted one out of a wine crate. We're in the heart of the Missouri wine country, so that seemed natural, and a tray, and it worked out just perfectly. My ceiling is copper, and so I've got copper that I put on the top of the drapes. I have copper touches just everywhere in the room, and I found this darling little fan, little period fan, copper, also at HomeGoods. So here's the room. My rule of thumb is to have at least 3 feet around a piece of furniture so that it's easy to walk into the room and walk into the next room. You don't want to be tripping or stubbing your toes. And it's very, very comfortable. My guests are very, very happy here, as am I. So thank you for joining me for decorating. Okay, just a little bit about COVID cleaning. I've done 2 prior steps to this. That is, I've masked, gloved, and put on a house coat to go in after people have left for 24 hours, strip their beds, gather their towels, get them down the 2 flights of stairs to the laundry, bleached, stripped, taken a shower, all for my own health. Then the second step, I remasked, regloved, went in and did all my deep cleaning, especially with my Clorox, my bleach, and all of my cleaning products that were so important. Then I'm on step 3, and that is I'm going to mask up. I've tied my hair back. Nobody wants your hair on their sheets or their towels. And then I have a little gloving tip. Boy, have we fought these gloves. They're a little too small always, and they rip a lot. So I have cuffed the glove just like I saw nurses do in the ICU ones. And then I slip my hand through as well as I can, and then roll that cuff up my hand. And that really does seem to prevent the tearing. Okay, and then once I'm gloved, masked, and my hair is covered, I'm ready to safely make their bed and roll their towels. Okay, so I've got all my protective gear on, and I'm ready to roll my guest towel for my next guests that are coming in. And I have just, while my iron is warming up over here on the floor, I have just folded my towel into thirds, and I'm going to take the top cuff of it down to the bottom cuff, and I'm not going to do it exactly even here. I'm leaving about an inch because when you roll it, you want it to take up and not hang over. So I'm just rolling that white towel up. It turned out nice and even, and then I'll place that onto their tray. The next thing that I'm going to do is grab their bottom sheet. So here's their bottom sheet. Get your corners good and deep around the top of the bed first. If you find anything from the laundry, like a hair, a speck of dirt, anything, get it, set it aside on a Kleenex. Like I said, nobody wants that. You don't want that for your guests. That could have happened in the dryer, off a towel. And just get every little thing off. You want it to be the way you'd want it if you were checking in. Absolutely pristine. Lift your mattress, get your corners down, and like I said, take off every little piece of lint that you possibly can. Okay, now I've got my sheet on. I've tucked in all the edges and all the corners. I've made sure there's no lint, no hair, nothing on those sheets. And I'm ready to iron my sheets. So I've turned my steam iron on to steam, to hot, because with 100% cotton sheets, that's what you want. Some people only iron the top third of their sheets. I don't. I'm a linen snob, I'll admit it. And I want the sheets ironed all the way to my toes, okay? And no, maybe nobody pulls their sheets off and looks, but I know. And I want it to be perfect for them. The most important thing, I think, in a bed and breakfast is providing quality linens, quality mattresses, memory foam, anything that you can do to make their bed the luxury experience that you want when you go to an inn. Okay, and now I'm ready for my top sheet. Okay, I'm back and we're ready to do our top sheet. Now I've obviously tucked in all the corners, pulled everything as taut as I possibly can, and the problem area usually on a top sheet is right up top. Sometimes you've got to give it a little extra steam. Go ahead. That's what we're here for. And just get it as nice as you can with your steam iron. Now next we are going to do the pillowcases, and I'm going to show you how to iron those right on your bed. And don't forget the edges. Just go ahead and steam down the edges. These are the details. If you don't like making beds, doing laundry, and giving things that really special touch and time that it takes, and perfection, you know, God is in the details, then you shouldn't run an inn. And one of the things that you can't skimp on are luxury linens, fine mattresses, and memory foam. You want these people to have the best night's sleep they've ever had. Okay, now we are going to work with the duvet. Now, I suggest you put on your duvet cover the same way you do your pillowcases. So roll it all up, get your corners on, take it to a stairwell where it's not going to touch the floor, and shake it down by the corners so the cover will float down over the quilt. So, do not let it touch the floor. I suggest at least folding it in thirds as I have, placing it near the bottom of the bed, and pull up by that top edge until it really reaches where it goes. You don't want anybody feeling that it's too short, okay? And I truly recommend tucked or puckered duvet covers. You don't want to be having to iron your duvet. It's really troublesome to iron so many layers. So if you can get any of these beautifully tucked ones that they make, they're readily available at most stores. And I buy a lot of my linens at Home Goods, and also, if I have to, Bed Bath & Beyond, and I think that's where I got this set. But it will save you on some ironing time, and a duvet is very bulky to be trying to iron. So just pull all your edges down and get it as straight and even on that bed as you can. The bed is the most important thing. You know, it's bed and breakfast. It's more important than your breakfast, I guarantee you. You don't want any complaints. Then take your freshly ironed pillowcases and put them on top. Then your decorative pillowcases that probably came with your duvet cover, like mine. And remember to buy fresh pillows often. You want them really comfortable and new. They're not that expensive, and you really do want to be able to change those. Keep a supply wrapped in plastic bags down in your storage area, and it really will pay. Now, I've got their tray ready here, and I'm going to put some lavender sprig right here in between the towels that I've rolled. I've got 2 masks for the time of COVID on here. I like to put little things on their tray that are thoughtful. I've got a bar of soap here on a little dish. This one's got musical notes on it. a little fingernail file, emery board. I don't put chocolate on my trays anymore. Too many terrible linen accidents, okay? And then introduce a little pop of color into your room. So I've got this beautiful rose satin pillow. I'm going to place it right here on the bed. And my finishing little whimsy touch for this bedroom are these cute little lambs, and I'm going to place one on the center of each pillow. Okay, so I've brought in a throw pillow for the center between the pillows up there, and this I've brought in has that same beige that I have in the Fieldcrest blanket. And again, it makes men feel a little bit more comfortable if everything's not totally frou-frou. So I'm going to put that on an angle, like a diamond, right in the center of my bed. Then I want to bring in some color, and probably next week I'll even bring in a fall table runner or something. But just to show you, I put that nice seashell quilt, just a little throw, across the foot of the bed to bring in some color, basically. And then here is their guest tray. I've got 2 towels, a lavender flower and sprig here that I set between the towels. When it gets closer to the holidays, I'll probably change over to some holly and some red ribbon. I've got a beautiful bar of scented soap here for my guests. And I'm going to tie that up with an organza blue ribbon to match the little quilt. And then I've set it on a little muffin tray. And I picked that up at Michael's. It's copper. You know, I try and keep everything in the theme of the B&B, a little copper everywhere, just like the ceiling. And I'm going to set that there, and then I'll probably add a couple of masks in a baggie just in case my travelers or my guests have forgotten a mask. It's nice until they can go out and buy some if I also provide some. And that's it. That's how to make a beautiful bed that's really comfortable and welcoming. And I will see you the next time. I hope you really feel abundant in your own bed. So fall is here at the Frances Lang House, and I want to make sure that my guests have plenty of cozy throws and blankets this fall. It's about 75 during the day, but it goes down to 45 at night. I've got the windows open, I've got the fan going because of the time of COVID, so I do keep it aired out as much as possible. On this lovely chaise lounge over here, I always keep a luxury throw, but I thought maybe they'll want an extra blanket for their bed. And in the spirit of abundance, I brought up this lovely French flowered quilt with roses. And it really reminded me of my time at the Paris flea market. I was happy to find this just locally in a thrift store recently. So I freshened it up and put it up here so that they'll have a sense of coziness and abundance. Now, of course, there were no walk-in closets back in the 1860s when this home was built. And so I've turned what was the nursery into a walk-in closet. And in here I keep the ironing board, I keep a mirror, I keep an iron, all my spare throw pillows and linens for changing it out from feminine to masculine. But also, in homage to the nursery, in this little part of the closet, I keep a lot of children's things, little bloomers, a lovely little pink smocked dress. I love hand smocking. I've got such respect for it. This darling little dress, it's hard to believe anybody could be that skinny as a child, but people were a lot smaller back in the 1860s. A little pair of baby shoes, another little white christening dress or underdress, and it's got a lot of tucking and hand embroidery on it, all done by hand and with love by some mother. And just a little house coat. And then over here, I keep my collection of the Bronte sister bears that I make. I make them from our little Angora goats, and I hand felt the mohair, and then I dress these little darlings with calico that I've got from my collection, little pieces of lace handkerchiefs for their collars, and then for their undercoats. Sometimes I've got some ticking around, and then I make their bloomers out of handkerchiefs trimmed in lace or tatting that people have just sent me and gifted me through the years. So they're each little treasures. They take me about 15 hours to sew their costumes and another 15 hours to actually felt and embroider and shape the bears and sew the bears together. So they're much too precious to ever sell or give away. And they're just my little secret thing that I like to keep. And I'm happy to share them with the people that stay in my inn. They're really the only people that ever get to see these. So I'm kind of happy to show them off. This one's got a little white on white print petticoat and some more pink and white bloomers. Let's see, what do you have on? This one's definitely in her baking or cleaning dress, and she's got some lovely brown calico bloomers. A little bit of purple thrown in there. Definitely a little work dress, but she's dressed up with a little lace collar too, and she's got a smile on her face. She's a happy bear. Anyway, I just enjoy these treasures, and I found this little suitcase that I display them in at the Victorian Trading Company, which we're really lucky to have over in Lenexa, Kansas. It's really worth the drive and the trip to go in there and get something special like this little suitcase. And I'm really happy to have showed you this today. I hope that you're living an abundant life and a beautiful life.